Sadiq साहब
जी सर हेलो जैसे तस्त आवाज दर्जी जिया साहब ठीक है सर बस 100 मिनट वेट को मतलब नु कैसा रश सर तो स्कूल थर्ड यू क्लियर दे क्लियर ही मत हुआ बस लेक्चर स्टार्ट okay today we are going to today our topic is about the diaphragm. You will study the normal structure of the diaphragm, functions of the diaphragm, the ligaments involved, and nerve supply, and at the last, the clinical correlation of the clinical anatomy of the diaphragm. As you all know, diaphragm, this is a thin, muscular and tendinous sheet or septum that separates the abdominal cavity from the thoracic cavity. Diaphragm is a thin and has two portions, muscular and the tendinous portion. Again, I'm going to repeat, diaphragm is a thin, muscular and tendinous sheet that separates the thoracic cavity from the abdominal cavity. You already know about the thoracic and the abdominal cavity. There is a partition between these two cavities in the form of thin sheet, which is called the diaphragm. Diaphragm is one of the most important muscles of the respiration. Now the shape is dome shape, consists of two parts, the peripheral portion and the central portion. The peripheral portion is muscular, while the central portion is tendinous in composition. Again, diaphragm is a thin, muscular, tendinous sheet. That separates the thoracic cavity from the abdominal cavity. This is a partition between the thoracic cavity and the abdominal cavity. Now it is a dome-shaped structure, consists of two parts. The peripheral part, which is muscular, composed of muscles, while the central part is the tendinous, composed of tendon. The diagram this is the peripheral portion, peripheral muscular portion of the diaphragm. Comes actually the pointer around there. Picture the cut section cross. This is the peripheral muscular portion of the diaphragm. We have the chicum whitish portion of the this one. Pointer chicum seven moment. This is the central tendinous portion of the diaphragm. Clear? Yeah, now it consists of two parts, peripheral muscular and the central tendinous. استقبل مايك لك check كي استقبل مايك سم check كي زبون خي check كمان. Okay, I'm going to repeat. Diaphragm is a thin sheet, consists of two parts, muscular and the tendinous portion. Diaphragm separates the thoracic cavity from the abdominal cavity. Now it is a dome shaped, consists of two parts, the muscular and the tendinous part. This is the muscular part of the tendon, muscular peripheral part. Pointer becomes a movement. This is the muscular peripheral part of the diaphragm. Pointer becomes a movement. Where come the whitish shitas takari? This is the tendinous portion of the diaphragm. The central tendon. Picture diagram. This is the tendinous portion of the diaphragm. Of the diaphragm, and this is the muscular portion of the diaphragm. Clear there was? Now clear? Okay. Diagram banizan poko ino biya lagi zikam. Now parts of the diaphragm on the basis of the origin. On the basis of the origin, diaphragm has three parts. Diaphragm comes in a rise show, the come parts in a rise show, the division bandi, the diaphragm has three parts. The part which arises from the sternum, the back of the sternum, is called the sternal part. I am going to teach you in detail. Was this slide? Yeah, I think. Has on the basis of the origin, diaphragm has three parts. Sternal part, as the name indicates, which arises from the sternum. Costal part, as the name indicates, arises from the lower 6 thoracic ribs and the vertebral part. Again, I'm going to repeat, on the basis of the origin, diaphragm has 3 parts: sternal, costal, and the vertebral part. Clear then? Now the sternal part. Sternal part is the part that arises from the posterior part of the xiphoid process. You all know what is the xiphoid process. It is the lower portion of the sternal bone. The sternal part is that part of the diaphragm which arises from the posterior part of the xiphoid process, or which arises from the back of the xiphoid process, or which arises from the posterior of the xiphoid process. Now the costal part is that part of the diaphragm which arises from the deep surface or the posterior surfaces of the lower 6 ribs and their costal cartilages. The part of the diaphragm that arises from the posterior surfaces or the deep surfaces of the lower ribs with their costal cartilages are called the costal part of the diaphragm. Now the vertebral part, it is that part of the diaphragm which arises from the vertical columns or cruras from the arcuate ligament. So that's the next slide. What are the cruras and what is the arcuate ligament? Simple, you can also say this is part of the diaphragm that arises from the vertebrae. L1, L2, L3, L3. Next slide उनके डिटेल बंदे हो तासो फिलहाल लते कि द ग्रे पार्ट से आता है external part, costal part and the vertebral part. Sternal part of the diaphragm arises from the posterior surface of the xiphoid process. Costal part arises from the deep surfaces or the posterior surface of the lower 6 ribs and their costal cartilages. While the vertebral part arises from the vertebra L1, L2 and L3. Clear then? So questions stay asuk nahi pose repeat come on. Okay. Now the crus of the diaphragm. That's the whole diagram ke okay man. The pointer se ma consider the following. This is the right crus of the diaphragm. This is the right crus of the diaphragm. Crus is nothing other than just a tendinous sheet. This is the right crus of the diaphragm. The origin lag. Ugo right the tasavya per detail kiwe ma. L1, L2 and L3. Right side arises right crus of the diaphragm arises from the L1. This is L1 where the pointer is pointing. L2 and L3 with their intervertebral disc. The right crus of the diaphragm, this one, arises from the L1, L2 and L3 with their intervertebral disc. The whitish carry come the pointer. These are the this is the intervertebral disc. The left crus of the diaphragm, this one. Here, this one, the diagram. It arises from the L1 and L2 vertebrae. L1 and the L2 vertebrae and some part from the upper part of the L3, but from the mainly from the L1 and the L2. This is the right crus of the diaphragm. And this is the left crus of the diaphragm. Clear the padi poch hui? Diagram ki poch hui? Now, as we already said, diaphragm has two crusts, right and the left crust. The right crust of the diaphragm arises from the bodies of the first three lumbar vertebrae, or the L1, L2, L3, and their intervertebral disc. I means intervertebral. And the intervertebral disc, like massing the diagram Q, who right one chikam L1, L2, L3 na arise kigi with their intervertebral disc. The left crust of the diaphragm arises from the bodies of the first two lumbar vertebrae with their intervertebral disc. Now this is simple. Diaphragm has two crusts, right and the left one. The right one arises from the L1, L2, L3 with their intervertebral disc. The left one arises from the L1 and the L2 with their intervertebral discs. Diagram ke bya ho. This is the right crust of the diaphragm. This is the left crust of the diaphragm. Clear? This is पूरे सोच सजे कि नहीं पोमाते हुए repeat कम. Okay. Now there are arcuate ligaments, medial and lateral arcuate ligaments. The diagram ke daw koi dalag blur shan the diagram ko kehta sab clarify. This one is the lateral arcuate ligament. This one, pointer pointing, this one is the lateral arcuate ligament. One on this side, another on another side. And this one is the medial arcuate ligament. Is it clear now? So diaphragm has two ligaments, two arcuate ligaments, medial arcuate ligament and the lateral arcuate ligament. Detail ki tasem tasrif diagram क्यों करें? As we already studied, there are two crusts, right and left. Arcuate ligaments are two in number, medial and lateral arcuate ligament. They arise from the crust of the diaphragm. Lateral to the crus of the diaphragm, there are two arcuate ligaments, medial arcuate ligament and the lateral arcuate ligament. Medial arcuate ligament extends from the sides of the body of the two second number vertebrae to the tip of the transverse process of the L1. Medial arcuate ligament extends the lumbar vertebrae to the 1, 2, 3. Medial arcuate ligament extends from the body of the lateral surface of the body of the L2 or second lumbar vertebrae to the tip of the transverse process of the L1. This is where the pointer is pointing. This is the transverse process of the L1. Vertebrae ki tasveer lumbar vertebrae ke transverse process. What is this? No, the medial arcuate ligament extends from the lateral surface of the body of second lumbar vertebrae to the tip of the transverse process of the L1 on either side. Actually, this one is the medial arcuate ligament extending from the body of the L2 to the tip of the transverse process of L1. Again, I'm going to repeat. The medial or quiet ligament extend from the body of the L2 to the tip of the transverse process of the L1. The lateral or quiet ligament extends from the tip of the transverse process of first lumbar vertebrae to the lower border of the 12th rib. Or simply, you can say it extends from the transverse process of L1 to the 12th rib. This is a transverse process of L1. Lateral or quiet ligament extending from here up to the lower border of the 12th rib. This one. I hope it's clear now. The medial borders of the two cruras are connected by median arcuate ligament. Don't confuse between the medial arcuate ligament and the median arcuate ligament. Median and the medial. This is the median arcuate ligament. The two borders of the cruras are connected by the median arcuate ligament. This one is the medial arcuate ligament. This one is the median arcuate ligament. Median arcuate ligament connects the two cruras. I hope that's a difference. What is the median arcuate ligament and what is the medial arcuate ligament? Clear? Clear now? حنيف خان خپل مایک لګ انمیوټ کا.
Yes, sir.
Mute ko.
Yes, sir. Mute this, sir.
On the basis of the origin of the diaphragm, what are the three parts?
Sir, my net के मसला गली उस तरह stable शे उस तरह class की दर्शन है.
Acha, what is the medial arcuate ligament and what is the median arcuate ligament?
Sorry, sir.
So, the नहीं.
No, sir. ये को मसला को net के मसला उस तरह उस class से दर्शन sir.
Oh, was class थराली?
Yes, sir. Sorry, sir. उस पर attend की sir.
Was पता ही क्या ना?
Yes, sir. उस पर
د سیو کچې یو بل مایک وته د دی ون میوټ کې کړي په خپل کوي
دی په خپل کولای شي سر.
الینا الف تاسو د مایک ان میوټ کوي خپل پلیز. جیسے څنګه ټیک ټاک صحیح روان دی ټول د ناس دي مایکونه دی ون میوټ کوي خپل دی. سیر د الینا الف ولا دغه ان میوټ کلک مایک
مورته ویلا وینا ان میوټ کې سر.
نان میوټ کوي.
Yes, sir.
اوس دې ویب سنټي ریموو کیږي کوم ځای نه د سیر وی ریموو سیر ریموو کوي سیر یو پیر ورته بیا ووایه مایک ان میوټ کړه که نه ان میوټ کوي نو کلاس نه ریموو کړه.
الینا الف تاسو ته وایي د مایک ان میوټ کړئ. دې ورته ریکوست کوم خنان میوټ کړئ ریموو کوم سر.
جی
ریکوست ورته کوم خنان میوټ کړئ سر ریموو کوم
ریموو Anyone who is not going to unmute the mic will be removed from the class.
Removed شو sir.
Hamad, unmute your mic. Hamad Noor. Here the tumu hai.
Request करते हो sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What is your name?
Sir, Hamad Noor.
Hamad Noor. On the basis of the origin of the diaphragm, what are the three parts?
Sir, there are three parts. One is sternal part, other is costal part, and third is vertebral part.
Very good. CR साहब दा इजहारुल हक unmute कर लग.
Yes sir. ضرورت پر څه خپل ما unmute کړ. एकदम रिक्वेस्ट नहीं एक्सेप्ट कर.
ठीक. नॉन म्यूट कहीं?
नो सर, दो रिक्वेस्ट नहीं एक्सेप्ट कर.
जी?
दो नॉन म्यूट के सर रिक्वेस्ट नहीं एक्सेप्ट कर.
नॉन म्यूट कहीं बस रिमूव कर चिमंगा दखल क्लास दखल कंटिन्यू हो उस टाइम में जाकर.
यस सर.
रिमूव का बस लड़का.
रिमूव शो सर. Remove to sir.
So we have so far discussed the different parts of the diaphragm, sternal, costal, and vertebral part. There are different ligaments, medial and lateral arcuate ligament, and the median arcuate ligament. Now this central tendon of the diaphragm. That's the diagram. This is the whitish chipadi ki upper part. This is the central tendon. Balkha diagram ka milaushi or blurtion dide. Dekhi tasu daw gurai. This is the central tendon of the diaphragm. Whitish chikami ode. So it is a structure to which the muscular part of the diaphragm is inserted. Or the part of the diaphragm to which the muscular part is inserted is the central tendon of the diaphragm. It is shaped like three leaves. The superior surface of the central tendon of the diaphragm is partially fused with the inferior surface of the fibrous pericardium. Fibrous pericardium, visceral pericardium, that's already really the central tendon chikam inferior ya the central tendon chikam superior surface of the inferior surface of the fibrous pericardium. These two are connected with each other, or simply you can say the heart or the fibrous pericardium of the heart lies on the superior surface of the central tendon. Clear now? There's a report showing a question is so they can repeat. Come on. Screen was clear, so?
Yes, sir, clear.
Clear then? The central tendon thus diagram ki vyakhyam go rahe hota. देखिए दी whitish كده ګوري دا whitish چې کوم دی د لیکل هم د central tendon of the diaphragm. The whitish portion چې کوم دی دا total. This is the central tendon of the diaphragm. It is shaped like a 3 leaves. The درې پاڼو په شان ته شکل کې دي لکه درې پاڼې adjoining pupils are side to side. بیا په دې کې بل یو main point دا دی چې the superior surface of the central tendon and the inferior surface of the fibrous pericardium are connected with each other, are in contact with each other. Was posh again? Now diagram clear na hai? Was the kita sudaga resembles like a 3 leaves. Now the shape of the diaphragm, as you already said, it is a dome shaped. So diaphragm has 2 domes, right and the left dome. 2 domes. This is the right dome of the diaphragm. And this is the left dome of the diaphragm. So diaphragm is a dome shaped, consists of right and the left domes. Now this is very important MCQs check sir. The right dome of the diaphragm reaches as high as the upper border of the 5th rib. The right dome of the diaphragm reaches as high as the upper border of the 5th rib. The left dome of the diaphragm reaches the lower border of the 5th rib. The central tendon lies at the level of the ZP sternal joint. ZP sternal joint is the joint between the body of the sternum and the xiphoid process. Now, diaphragm has 2 domes, right dome and the left dome. Right dome reaches as far as the upper border of the 5th rib. The left dome reaches up to the lower border of the 5th rib. The central tendon lies at the level of the ZP sternal joint. The अक्सर MCQs की राइजिंग में दायत साथी expiration के बाद diaphragm relax चिकन निकलता relax and the dome से यदि कम दी द पदर levels पूरी दा relation. The right one up to the upper border of the left up to the upper border of the 5th rib. And the left one up to the lower border of the 5th rib. Clear the post way? See sternal joint the diagram की गोरम तो मिलाओ शो टिक तक है मिलाओ नेक्स्ट में लेता से पर बहुत दूर है. The diagrams के लिए बफर बहुत है. Diagram के लिए. Now these domes of the diaphragm support the lungs while the central tendon support the heart. The domes support the both lungs, right and left lung, and the central tendon supports the dome supports the lungs while the central portion of the central tendon support the heart. Now the level of the diaphragm changes with the phase of the respiration. As we already said, it is higher in case of expiration. It changes with the posture, and it changes with the degree of the distension of the abdominal viscera. When the abdominal viscera are more distended, it will push the diaphragm upper, or the diaphragm will lie more high. Again, I am going to repeat, the level of the diaphragm changes with the phase of the inspiration. As you already know, it changes with the expiration and the inspiration, with the posture, and with the degree of distension of abdominal viscera. Now, the diaphragm is lower when a person is sitting or standing. higher in this supine position because the viscera of the abdomen pushes the diaphragm, and after a large meal, again, which is due to distension of the stomach, which pushes the diaphragm higher. Now the diaphragm is lower when a person is sitting or standing position, higher when in supine position, and after a large meal. Again, the higher position is due to the distension of the abdominal viscera, which pushes the diaphragm. First, this is a simple English term. Now openings, there are certain openings in the diaphragm through which various structures move from the abdominal cavity to thoracic cavity or from the thoracic cavity to the abdominal cavity. These openings are the aortic opening, esophageal opening, and the caval opening. Remember, there are three openings in the diaphragm: aortic, esophageal, and the caval opening. ये वो पर डिटेल बन जाए उसको दिख रहा होगा नहीं then a caval opening, esophageal opening, and the aortic opening. Aortic opening, esophageal opening, and the vena caval opening. Now aortic opening, it lies at the level of the 12th thoracic vertebrae. Dayat sati da pensi the openings and the come structure transmit the vena caval opening, the aortic opening. Aortic opening lies anterior to the body of the 12th thoracic vertebrae, or simply you can say aortic opening lies at the level of the 12th thoracic vertebrae. Now, what are the structures that transmits through this opening? They are the aorta, as the name indicates, thoracic duct, and the azygous vein. These are the three structures that transmits through the aortic opening. Aorta, thoracic duct, and the azygous vein. Esophageal opening lies at the level of the T10, 10th thoracic vertebrae. Basically, it arises from the right cross of the diaphragm, and it transmits the esophagus, vagus nerve, esophageal branches of the left gastric artery, and the lymphatics from the lower third of the esophagus. Important structure, the esophagus and the vagus nerve. Again, I'm going to repeat, the esophageal opening lies at the level of 10th thoracic vertebrae and transmits the esophagus, vagus nerve, esophageal branches of the left gastric artery, and the lymphatics from the lower third of the esophagus. The threads and the sliding to the moments. The esophageal opening at the level of T10 and transmits the esophagus, vagus nerve, esophageal branches of the left gastric artery, and lymphatics from the lower third of the esophagus. Now the caval opening or the vena caval opening lies at the level of the 8th thoracic vertebrae and transmits the inferior vena cava and the terminal branches of the right phrenic nerve. Remember the three openings here: vena cava, aortic, and the esophageal. Vena cava lies at the level of T8, esophageal lies at the level of T10, and the aortic opening lies at the level of the T12. There's a report with attendance. minutes counting. Now the nerve supply of the diaphragm. There are two types of supply, motor and the sensory. The motor supply arises from the phrenic nerve. And the root value is C3, 4 and 5. Sensory supply at the center of the diaphragm, it is from the phrenic nerve, while at the periphery, the diaphragm is supplied by the lower 6 intercostal nerves. The motor supply is from the phrenic nerve to the whole of the diaphragm. Sensory supply to the central portion or to the central tendon, it is from the phrenic nerve, while to the periphery or to the muscular part of the diaphragm, it is from the lower 6 intercostal nerves. The chat yes, sir. Oh, the chat's a click on the Then, Madhu, now the functions of the diaphragm: muscle of inspiration, muscle of abdominal straining, weightlifting muscle, and thoraco-abdominal pump. The diaphragm, this is the one dome of the diaphragm, and the right dome. The follow this is the right dome of the diaphragm. X-ray diaphragm. This is the right dome of the diaphragm. On another side, this is the left dome of the diaphragm. Line black line. This is the left dome. This is the right dome. Clear the post way? Time stay the only question you go. Stay. So, what's the website one? Like a person. Where was being Hamza, mic unmute the pallag. Hamza Amin. Hamza Amin, mic unmute ka. Islam. What's up with us is the QA contains the QA.
Sir, the diaphragm taps mung to be so diaphragm problem the
Samya, the where
diaphragm the problem
Hamza, nerve supply of the diaphragm.
Hello, sir.
Like a book, you know, there's Zima two, another zero.
Sir, the nerve supply of the diaphragm mainly comes from the sir, we the sir tasu आवाज माते कम रातले the nerve supply
nerve supply of diaphragm.
Sir, disconnect show.
Oh. Muhammad Aqil, mic unmute ka?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hello, sir.
Muhammad Aqil,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
unmute the cam.
How do you?
Sure.
What is the nerve supply of the diaphragm?
Sir, your motor supply the sensory or but means sensory supply. The motor supply chikam da agar right and left phrenic nerve C3 4 5 kV or sensory supply chikam da center the para phrenic nerve de or peripheral part the para lower costal nerve 6 lower costal nerve. Intercostal nerve.
Very good. Here,
Yes, sir.
Tata puri di pagi size dekhu.
Also, for Humada is the such a right diaphragm chile sir aga the inhalation ke the exhalation ke sir 35 upper portion puri upper border pe. और the left side is sir 85 the lower border pe.
Perfect, sahi.
Yes, sir.
What is arcuate? The medial and lateral arcuate ligament. What are the medial and lateral arcuate ligaments?
Sir, that time case है ना मरा गया sir. My net की मसला सर unstable है ना connect किया.
Okay.
Start किया.
Now the clinical correlations. One is the hiccups. HQR. It is due to the involuntary and spasmodic contraction of the diaphragm. Involuntary and spasmodic contraction of the diaphragm results in the hiccups, and it is accompanied by the approximation of the vocal folds and the closure of the glottis. All these three phenomena lead to the hiccups: contraction, spasmodic, involuntary contraction of the diaphragm, approximation of the vocal folds and the closure of the glottis results in the hiccups. Hiccups may be a common condition in some individuals, but it may be a symptom of diseases such as pleurisy, peritonitis, pericarditis, and the uremia. Pleurisy is the inflammation of the pleura. Peritonitis is the inflammation of the peritoneum, and pericarditis is the inflammation of the pericardium. Next one. Here, Hamad Noor, the mic like unmute now.
Okay, sir.
Hamad Noor.
Yes, sir.
Hamad, what is the difference between the median arcuate ligament, the medial arcuate ligament, and the lateral arcuate ligament?
Sir, median arcuate ligament چې دی سره خو د دوه کروره یو بل سره کنیکټ کوي او لیټرل چې دی سره هغه د ټرانسفرس پروسس د کوم ټیپ ته L1 هغه لوور بارډر اف 12 کریکټس
او medial
sir side of body of L2 na tip of transverse process of L1.
that the book name आता है
No sir, rata da
रटना दा पेजनो कशारे दी रजीना बगी सादा دا غوا کرورا زو د اوریجن کم زنه ده
سره خونه راځي سر
The book in niche there for getting. Sir Usama Khan the mute the mic.
Okay, sir. Usama Khan request accept. The request नहीं accept क्या? So Usama Khan request accept क्या?
The request होता होगा mic unmute का कना unmute थी वे remove का class में.
Usama Khan. Sir ना unmute.
Class किसने?
Online दे sir वो mic ना unmute के.
Sir ना कहीं?
The online खुद है sir वो mic ना unmute के.
Kaza remove कर.
Okay, sir. Remove show, sir.
हाँ? इधर देखो. The window please, sir, please move this window away. Thank you. Now the paralysis of the diaphragm. Paralysis occurred due to the injury to the phrenic nerve, resulting in the cessation of the movements of the diaphragm or the paralysis of the diaphragm. Now, penetrating injuries to the diaphragm. Penetrating injuries can result from the stab wounds or the bullets to the chest or the abdomen. They result in the penetrating injuries to the diaphragm. Remember, any penetrating wound to the chest, which is below the level of the nipples, should be suspected of causing damage to the diaphragm. I repeat, har haga penetrating wound chipa chest pandi below the level of the nipples, that is the level of the fifth intercostal space, should be suspected of causing damage to the diaphragm until proven otherwise. These are the clinical correlations with the diaphragm, the paralysis of the diaphragm, penetrating injuries to the diaphragm, and the hiccups. So these are पूरे सजा की कौन है repetition पकड़ी मतलब वो repeat कमा lecture से उन्होंने खत्म. Still we have a few minutes to go. बता सजा की नहीं को repetition पकड़ी नो है. Clinicals, first of all, this is the hiccups. Hiccups is the involuntary spasmodic contraction. Spasmodic is the occur in the periods. Is a contraction that occur in the periods and the spasm contraction of the diaphragm that is accompanied by the approximation of the vocal cords and closure of the glottis. May be a common condition, but may be a symptoms of certain diseases like pleurisy, peritonitis, pericarditis, and the uremia. Uremia is increased level of the urea in the blood. Paralysis of the diaphragm is due to injury to the phrenic nerve. Penetrating injuries can result from the stab wound or bullet injuries to the chest. This was all about the diaphragm. Ugorei kavyam sazeki noi po anubya matavaleshi. Front 2 slides. First 2 slides, the introduction barakidi diaphragm is a thin muscular and tendinous sheet. The portions are muscular and tendinous, which separates the thoracic cavity from the abdominal cavity. Important muscle of respiration. Dome shape consists of 2 parts, peripheral muscular part called the central tendinous part. And then on the basis of the origin, it has 3 parts, sternal part, costal part, and the vertebral part. The part which arises from the posterior part of the xiphoid process is called the sternal part. The one which arises from the deep surface of the lower 6 ribs and their costal cartilages are the costal part. And the other which arises from the lumbar vertebrae, L1, 2, 3 are the lumbar part. Caval opening. This is the caval opening. This one. Caval opening lies at the level of the T8. And this transmits the inferior vena cava and the terminal branches of the phrenic nerve. Median, and lateral arcuate ligament. Median arcuate ligament is a ligament which connects the 2 pleura of the diaphragm. Medial arcuate ligament is that ligament which extends from the bodies of the lumbar vertebrae, first to second lumbar vertebrae to the tip of the transverse process of L1. Lateral arcuate ligaments are that ligaments which extends from the transverse process to the 12th thoracic vertebrae. Hiccups not clear. Hiccups, Matastave, this is the spasmodic contraction of the diaphragm assisted by the closure of the vocal cords and the glottis. Sometime it may be occur due to without any reason, and other time in some cases it is a sign of the disease like pleurisy, peritonitis, pericarditis, and the uremia. Spasmodic contraction is a contraction that occurs in the spasm. 1 minute there is contraction, in another minute there is the relaxation. You lag saat ki contraction hi bal saat ki relaxation. This is the spasmodic contraction. Spasm. Thank you very much. Lecture bata su gorei ka biaum sa zeki query wa sa zeki poison be relation. Thank you all. सुनो
Sir, meeting income, sir. Class income.
जी
Sir, the class income, sir.
हाँ इनकम
See, sir, the slide percentage, sir. The students award.
ठीक है सही है ठीक है
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir.